in the same the way Paul did, but Paul would just let anyone book a show and keep the door.
Yeah, I
So you
think.
can do the whole night yourself, or you can invite other people and everybody does a set, you split the door.
Yeah, that'd probably be the coolest way to do it, is like get 3 bands that
Well,
really
that's how we
complement
did
each
his
other.
birthday
and then-
bash. We had 5 bands and did a $5 cover.
Yeah,
And
so each band got $1 off of each person to walk through the door.
right. We had,
We have just under a minute.
Right.
I think, good money. My fiance worked the door. Like, you don't care? No. I was gonna have my sister do it or something. They don't really like music at all. Which I don't know why.
You
I
got your
would.
phones, Lance, so you don't pick them up after the mics are live?
How long we got?
30 seconds.
This one's worse for wear, man. A little lopsided. Got the lopsided headphones.
Hopefully we're getting new ones soon.
I'm feeding uneven, like a 2-ton heavy thing.
10 seconds.
Here you go.
Professional Allison.
5.
Welcome back to Land's Graham Show with Allison and Nico. Our guest is Chosen by Fate, and that was Chosen by Fate you guys just heard. That was great.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
It kind of reminds me of, did you say Kansas, that kind of vibe a little bit?
Heard that. I'd take that.
Yeah. Won't complain about that.
Maybe, like we talked about earlier, maybe Triumph, the whole...
Yeah, kind of trying to go back more towards, more of a, not necessarily classic rock vibe, but bringing the musicianship back into the factor.
I tend to describe it as where you take a little bit of Led Zeppelin, mix it with a little bit of Pink Floyd, and then throw in one of those newer bands like REO Slave, and just kind of shake it all up. Then put a little topping on YouTube just for fun.
It's like, I was interviewing Jeff from, I forgot the name of the band. Just blanking. It's a singer from Asking Alexandria's new band.
Okay, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but yeah,
I
he
had
just
it
got
tip
himself
of my
a brand
tongue.
new group out. Yeah.
yeah. And anyway, I interviewed the singer, which I probably feel the same way. We're doing with Lance. Because I can't remember.
I'd love to erase that part of the interview.
But like, that just means I was reading about them, like Revolver and all that stuff, saying classic rock band style, classic rock band. And I asked Jeff, I'm like, do you guys write that way? He's like, no, we write what we love. And when it comes out that way, then it comes out that way. Is that kind of how you guys
Exactly.
feel?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it basically, if you don't feel it, if we don't feel it, it doesn't belong there. I mean, feeling it. If feeling as a musician, I mean, it's tetramount to what we do. I mean, if it doesn't invoke an emotional response out of us, it's not going to when people play it for either.
Exactly, because I'm throwing in some heavy stuff in those songs, and the music kind of counters it. It doesn't come across quite as heavy as what I'm playing.
Yeah, because we're a very heavy
So
section.
it really balances out in a sense.
And with Eric's guitars and Bill's keys, it creates the balance there with a very hard and heavy bottom with a very light and airy top that makes it
its own sound.
It creates its own atmosphere really.
You just kind of come together what you love. It kind of comes out that way, just like Jeff George said.
I mean, there are a lot of bands out there right now that are going their own direction. Like I don't know if you're familiar with the band Opeth.
Yeah.
They used to be one of those like type bands, and they went from that to some really beautiful music. I mean, their last 3 albums, every one of them has just blown me away. But once again, they got away from the genres and labels, and they're this kind of a band, and they're playing what they love. And they've lost some fans, but they gained a whole bunch more fans because of making that decision. And I love seeing those bands that aren't afraid to step out of the comfort zone, step away from the norm, and do something different for a change.
It's interesting you mentioned that because from the very beginning, we practiced improvisation together. Just somebody starting off something and everybody just starts joining in. And
We've literally got, what, 70
we've got
plus?
probably at least 100
100
projects
some,
with
yeah, hours.
at least one jam in it that we didn't. It was just landed in our lap. In other words.
Oh, bands, We Are Harlot, I'm sorry. We Are Harlot, that's my new Jeff George.
Is that's his new, that's the name of the new one?
Yeah, asking Alexander, yeah. He said, like I said, the magazine was saying classic rock bands. Like, no, we play what we love, what we write. That's
Yeah, because Asking Alexander, that's pretty much all that new metalcore stuff.
Yeah, and We Are Harlot's completely.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, hell, look at what's his face, Skrillex.
Yes.
I mean, he sang for one of those core bands back in the day. I mean, what was that? From First to Last, they had that song "Ride the Wings of Pestilence." That was heavy. I mean, you want to talk about some heavy emo music. I mean, that stuff was pretty out there.
Yeah.
And he went from that to now he's doing electronic dance music.
That's interesting.
It's like, I like a lot of the female fronted bands, like the European, like Within Temptation. And
Yeah,
so they're
you're talking Bill's territory and my
That's my
territory
territory
right there.
yeah.
Annika von Giersbergen is my goddess.
Yeah.
I mean, with her work with The Gathering,
Mhm.
when she did that guest stint on Moonspell's album, all that. I mean, everything she's done, I just worship.
Simone Simons.
Simone Simons.
Flora Jensen.
Her work
like,
with Camelot. I mean, Camelot's not one of those bands that's a big influence on me.
Like, I interviewed Amaranth, Elise from Amaranth.
Yeah. That's
I interviewed her, like, really. I got that last minute. I contacted the manager because there's a webzine out there called Sonic Cathedral, which basically is a female-fronted, female metal magazine webzine. She does interviews, and her name's Robin, that kind of oversees it. And her and I got to be friends, and she's been hooking me up with, contacts, and I ended up emailing Elise Ride from Amaranth band and opened up for Within Temptation that night. And I thought, this is a shot in the dark 2 days before the show, let's see what happens. And they got back to me, and they said, yeah, and next thing I know, I'm interviewing Elise Ride. Her and I are talking, and then she come back and go, my fiance loves you guys too, because she go back and meet you at the show. My interview was at 4 and the show was later on, so I went and picked Christina up and then went back. And it was over, when I come to her bus, she's like, yeah, you should come out, and met Christine, and it's really cool. And then she put on her blog for the day, she had a blog of each. She's like, I interviewed with guy from RawRadioX, a real sweetheart named Lance. I said, Elise Wright acknowledged me. I was like,
You were like, she called me a sweetheart.
Star Crush.
That's where a lot of the creativity in metal is come is over there in Europe.
Yeah.
You look at stuff like what Aaron Lucasen is doing with Arion and various projects that he's doing, where he brings in, 5 to 10 singers and all this collage of musicians.
Yeah, you got
puts
all
together a super band. And
Arion, you got like
yeah.
Symphony X over there.
Epica.
And Rhapsody.
Therian.
Rhapsody.
Therian, they were probably one of the first to do that. I mean, they were the first to bridge that whole classical and metal thing together, bringing an actual full choir with a string orchestra, and that kind of stuff was just amazing. I was a big fan of that when it first hit too.
Was it Amanda Somerville that was
Amanda
from
Somerville.
here?
From
in
Flint.
Germany?
Yep. She produced she gave song lessons to Simone Simons.
Oh wow!
And she does. She's an anchor at Trillium.
Oh yeah.
And
No, Trillium. that's-
Trillium.
Yeah, Trivium. They're male.
She
Trillium's
sings
more heavy.
Amanda Somerville, and she called here, and she's from Flint, and they did a show at the Detroit Pub, but yet she filled in for Simone Simons on Epica. But I can't remember, she lost her voice or something, and then she jumped on the road tour because basically she gave Simone singing lessons, helped her write the songs,
No
and
kidding.
she just jumped on the road
She's
and
probably in that live recording they did, that was symphonic recording.
yeah.
I saw Epica in Cleveland. It was a great show down at Peabody's.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was
There's another one of those classic clubs.
Isn't Peabody's gone? Didn't they
No,
shut it down?
Peabody's is still up.
And what a great
The
show.
last show I heard of was like back in 2014. I know Mushroom Head did a big show there. It was kind of it was like a fundraiser to try to get I guess they were back in taxes, like something like 50, 60 grand.
Oh, I thought I heard that they shut down though eventually.
Did they end up shutting down? Because
I
I
think they did.
thought they're trying to
Horrible.
keep it going.
Because I was like, oh.
Peabody's is an
God.
institution.
Wasn't Leaves Eyes with Epica during that tour?
Yep.
Leaves Eyes. I remember the first I ever heard of them. Their singer did that little thing on a Cradle of Filth song, and that was the first I'd heard of them. I think it was an Amphetamine was the song, and it was a singer for Leaves Eyes. She did the verses and he did the choruses, and that along with Sarah Jezebel Diva doing the high the soprano stuff in the background. It was just really cool juxtaposition. And that was the first time I ever heard them, and I went out and bought the Leaves Eyes album right after
They're
that.
really good.
Yeah.
And they're nice people. If you like the band, they're a band from Grand Rapids, which has been birthday bash called Aria Flame, A-R-I-A, then Flame.
Huh.
And they're like whole genre, and they played Metal Female Voice Festival last year in Belgium. They're from Grand Rapids. They're
No
good friends of
kidding.
ours.
Wow, that'd
They were
be
just
definitely
here.
something to
I know
check
that.
out.
Yeah, I remember that.
Aria Flame, yeah.
So many good bands in this state.
Well, yeah, and the thing that I like about that style is just a lot of the writing is really very creative. When you look at these bands like Aria Flame or like some of the bigger ones like Camelot or Arion, they do these concept albums. So almost every Arion album is a concept album.
Yeah.
And these albums tell these stories, and they're these gigantic stories. And so as a writer, you look at that stuff, and it's really inspiring. Because they're writing about something that is much more intense or, larger than, hey, let's get on the dance floor and dance.
Yeah,
Give me
it's so
drinks.
much more than just a 4-minute
I
song.
was
Yeah.
just gonna say that. It's more than a 3-minute single.
Yeah,
And that music's crossing over the U.S. more and more. I mean, you got Nightwish coming over here.
Finally.
finally.
And
Yeah.
you got Camelot.
Camelot's.
They're coming November.
I remember I was so stoked about
Blind Guardian.
Theory, and I had to,
Yeah.
when, I was as I was saying, I was a big Theory fan. I had to wait until 2007 for those guys to finally come to the U.S. And when I did, I had to go all the way to Chicago to see them. But it was at the House of Blues, so, I mean, that whole thing was just an amazing
Buried at the house,
experience.
that gives us potential to move
Yeah. Actually,
that idea.
yeah,
That's what I wanted.
yeah. Oh, that was an amazing show too. I mean, they came right up. I mean, with the big, horns section and everything. It was this whole. I mean, then the curtain goes up, and you've got the choir on one side and the band on the other, and just the juxtaposition of the metal along with the classical. It was so neat to see live.
You guys like Wednesday 13?
Haven't heard them.
He's in the Murder Dolls.
Well, I've heard of the Murder Dolls.
I just saw them a couple times last year, but a band opened up called Die So Fluid. They're female fronted. They're a 3-piece power, and she plays bass. Her name's Grog. She's amazing.
I like it already.
I love it.
And she's amazing. Like,
Love it.
I
And
interviewed
she's
her.
so hot.
She is hot. I bought a calendar off their website. It's just Grog. They're like 12 pictures. It's a 2010 calendar. What the hell? It's 12 pictures of Grog.
It'll be good one of these years. Faithful all line.
Then there's a band called September Morning, which is really it's Mourning. And have you ever heard of September Morning?
I've seen some YouTube links with that name.
And they're basically doing a comic. What it is she's half human, half Reaper. Her bands are Grim Reapers on stage, and they collect souls. And they're working with a guy who worked with Marvel from Top Cow Comics, make a graphic novel at the same time this album was released. So September Morning, you get the CD, plus you get the graphic novel at the exact same time.
So basically, they're going to try to out-ghost Ghost.
Was that
That's
a Ghost
really
did?
interesting.
Well, Ghost kind of came out similar to that, with the big imagery and all that. But only one person in the band is named. Everyone else is nameless.
Yep.
And not to mention they're coming out with their third album now, and it's the same singer, but they're trying to say that this is their third singer, And the only difference is he shaved his little pit bull mustache.
Oh, it's the same
off.
guy. His name was
Yeah.
Papa something. I saw.
Papa Emeritus the third now.
Has
And
anybody-
the only difference between him and Papa Emeritus the second was a razor blade.
Oh,
That was it. He shaved his mustache and that's it. Changed the makeup a little bit and same band doing worn down second-rate typo negative songs.
Yeah, this band September Morning is awesome, and they're doing a Kickstarter right now, which is they want to keep this graphic novel thing going. Once the CD's released, just release different versions, and
Well, that's
It's like
brilliant.
Camping.
yeah,
Yeah, well, they're out. So you got that comic book series.
I think Entombed did that back with Entombed did that back with Dark Horse Comics back in the day too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then and they also did they had that whole they had a whole album based around Wolverine. It was called the Wolverine Blues.
Oh, nice. I'm
Yes.
looking forward to a really interesting project coming up. David Gilmour's releasing a new solo album.
Oh, is he?
Has anybody heard about this?
I've heard.
No, I haven't.
I heard the one track they released off of it
His
that you
wife's got-
posted on Facebook, and that was pretty much all I heard.
There's a concept behind it, and it's based on books that are supposed to lead up to Genesis.
oh,
The Bible. It's supposed to lead up to the Adam and Eve. There's a series of books that this thing is based on. I can't remember the name.
Kabbalah.
I
That would be from the Kabbalah.
think that might be.
The Kabbalah is
Anyways,
more
they're
Jewish
taking-
mysticism.
They're taking.
Oh.
They're doing a
Precede
concept
Genesis.
based on that.
Oh, cool.
Like the Book of Enoch and those kinds of things.
oh,
Yeah, those precede
that'd be
Genesis.
interesting to hear that.
Probably the earliest of the Jewish folklore, like dealing with the whole Lilith. Because
yeah.
your local your normal Bible nowadays doesn't speak of Lilith.
She
at
was
all.
Adam's first wife.
First
right?
wife.
that turned.
Well, she refused to lay for him, which I'm assuming that meant that missionary position was out. She was like, no, I'm on top. That's kind of what I kind of gathered of it.
That's where
And-
Lilith Fair came from. That Sherman McLaughlin did every year.
Yeah, and Lilith was supposedly created the same way Adam was, from dirt and dust, as opposed to a part of him, and the spirit was actually supposed to be of God's actual what do you call it, consort. And
She was banished, right?
yeah, and then supposedly she got banished and became the mother of all demons.
So that'd be interesting to hear that
Animals
David
250.
Gilmour.
And then the Arabs, the Arabic religions had a completely different thing about her. She was like the thing that came in the middle of the night and took your babies in the desert.
Yeah.
Her
Lilith
two
was a
sisters.
much more,
Yeah, there was three sisters.
Yeah.
Lilith was one of three sisters.
yeah, Lilith was a much more demonic force in that, because all those Abrahamic religions all tie together, but that one, the Lilith was always the female demonic energy. Basically, any female power, any feminism, all fell into her category and was all shunned because men wrote the books.
I'd be curious to see what he's basing it on.
When's that album coming out?
I think September.
Yeah, I think it is in September. So it's yeah, I think the 16th or something like
Yeah,
that.
that-
Looking forward to it though.
The new song is so dancey.
Dancey?
David Gilmour?
Ever heard Dave do something so up tempo dance, and it's really cool. I was just
Oh.
completely thrown off by it. Wasn't expecting it. It's very cool.
Did they do a few shows together? Dave Gilmour and Pink Floyd originally, like
They got together a couple of times over in
that's
Europe.
what making his name too.
They did. What was it? One of the wall shows that
Oh, yes.
Roger Waters
Roger
was
Waters,
doing.
yeah.
They ended up bringing in David to play the guitar solos in "Comfortably Numb," and and then they brought in the Nick and him to do outside the wall right at the end. Where everybody gets together playing the old instruments and everything and.
That'd be awesome. I didn't see the Wall tour. I should have went to that. I heard it was just amazing. Did you guys see it? They were building the wall, I heard, during the whole show or something.
That's right.
Yeah, and then at points they're at the end by the time the wall gets completely built, Roger's literally inside this little room inside the wall, and they're bricking it up, and then he does the goodbye cruel leaving today, goodbye, goodbye, and then on the last goodbye they just slip the last brick in, goodbye,
And the first half.
and then end of the first half.
Nuts.
It was like, wow.
They're releasing
It was pretty epic. I wish I had got to see the original, original 4 dates,
That would be sweet.
Either London, New York, LA, or Paris. Those
Who's
would have been
based?
amazing.
Who was it? Was it who based the song off the original singer from Pink Floyd about going insane? What band?
The
was it?
whole wall was
The whole wall was
wall was
basically,
Sid Barrett.
it was a
Sid Barrett.
juxtaposition of Sid Barrett's life and what Roger was going through with his childhood and his divorce with his wife. He kind of juxtaposed the Sid's craziness and all that, from all the LSD that they were secretly feeding him all the time. And not the band, but the people Sid lived with. Yeah, they literally went around. The guy would go up in the mornings at the house Sid lived in, and he'd bring around all the glasses with LSD liquid, and not tell anyone. And then you'd wake up tripping and not know why. That's why Sid lost his mind.
That's why he
Top
was-
that along with a schizophrenic, and
Point of no return, basically.
yeah. So he took that weird offness of that Sid was going through, and how he started falling to pieces on the road. Juxtapose that with Roger's own life, with his impending divorce going on, and his wife constantly thinking he was out sleeping with other women when she had somebody at the house, and and he documented it all very, very coarsely.
Was there another band that did this thing about Sid, like kind of based their song or album on Sid too?
I know Voivod on their Nothing Face album gave a big nod to Sid Barrett. In fact, they even covered Astronomy Domine on the album, which was off their first album, the first Floyd album, and it was pretty amazing stuff. I was a big Voivod fan back in the day, still am, but Nothing Face, that was an amazing album.
We got like a few minutes here, about 10 minutes left. Where can people find your music? And you're on Facebook or anything?
Oh yeah, Facebook. We've also got things on numberonemusic.com. Go ahead, Eric. You
numberonemusic.com /chosen by fate.
What about your Facebook name? What's that?
Our Facebook is facebook.com /grindstone band 2013.
We weren't able to get it was an idea we had for another band. We had to end up using that thing for it, but if you type in Chosen by Fate on any search on Facebook, it comes right up.
Are you on iTunes or Reverb Nation?
Not yet. Once we finish the album, we'll be up on the list.
Yeah, as you can
Well,
tell,
there's
we've
some
got.
stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, you guys have played two
We got about
two out of the 4 songs off the album here, and
Demo.
then
I'm
we've
gonna
gotten
do the other
first.
2. I have them
Oh, excellent.
lined up.
Yeah, so those first, these first 4 are what we've got to begin with, and we're looking forward to completing it and getting the rest of it done, hopefully within the year, and have a product to be able to put out to everyone, an actual physical product that we can sell on iTunes, etc.
Do you have a website?
Just the #1 site at this point.
Yep, the numberonemusic.com site's it's pretty much got everything you could go want from the band on it. Links, full on EPK right there. You got an electronic press kit right on it. Very nice little tool that they provide there. Giving them a little shout out.
So how do you guys feel about iTunes? Do you think that just doing it just because is it?
That's a touchy
It's
subject.
double-edged
It
sword,
really
kinda.
is.
Yeah, because selling individual downloads, you are not able to make any money. You may be selling it for 99 cents and you pay 2.
But quite honestly,
Bandcamp, I've heard, gives you guys a bigger cut.
Yeah,
Bandcamp
yeah.
does. Yep.
But quite honestly, that's the way the music scene has always been. You never made money off albums. You always made money off touring.
Merchandise.
The band.
Unless you
The
own
record
publishing
company.
company
Yeah,
yourself.
the record company would give you so much of an advance to complete your album, and generally by the time you were done recording, you were either broke even or in the hole. And then to make money, you had to go out and tour, and that's how you paid your bills.
You guys have like merchandise and stuff? T-shirts?
We're working on that right now. We'd taken a little time off to kind of get our stuff together. We all had some personal stuff we had to take care of this spring, and we got that all dealt with. So now we're moving full force back into it, and merchandise and all that is soon to come again. Definitely, because yeah, we're ready to emerge again, and
There's a lot of stuff we need to do, but
We're investing in some new stage gear as well.
yeah, we're investing in a lot of new stuff to be able to kind of bring a better show to the people and be able to get the show out there more often as well. Play more gigs, more venues.
I'd like to have you guys back once everything is finished. If you want to come in and
Oh,
play it.
absolutely,
that'd
yeah.
be great.
Dude, yeah.
Thank you guys for coming to the studio.
Appreciate it. Thanks for
man,
having us.
appreciate it.
We'll go ahead and play the last two songs. All right,
Which
guys.
are World is Strange is today.
By Chosen by Feet.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you
a lot.
guys.
Oh,
Hey, Lance.
I used to have
Tom's
headphones
out
on
there.
that long.
Oh, comment?
Tom, he came to drop off tickets for that Friday night show.
Oh.
And we needed more.
Hey.
You can just
Yeah,
say
a little
one,
bit.
buddy. It's all there now. What?
Thanks for your time again.
Oh, anytime. I'm on Facebook. You guys ever want to come back? Just,
What's that?
you guys ever want to come back? Just hit us up on Facebook.
You could wind up this building for hours.
Yeah.
No, I know. This is a really crazy place, man.
Looking at all the artwork and all that.
That's bizarre. That long
I
ass
love
boy.
these partial
And
cars.
there's Jeff.
Yeah, that is brilliant.
Yep. So weird. I hear bass. It's very nice and warm too. I wonder if that's one of those cabinets.
No, that's sounds like a bass one.
Ooh, I like that. That's twisted artwork.
This is 3 right here.
This is a crazy place.
Oh. Yeah, it's telling them this band right here, the Lockouts, they've switched completely over to Blackport stuff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they use nothing but Blackport equipment, guitars, bass, everything.
That's right. Going down is easier than coming up, but
That is.
been a lot of human beings up and down these stairs over the years.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
And here we are at night. What a cool place. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Detroit. Just love Russell Bazaar. Russell Industrial Complex, 1600 Clay Avenue, Detroit, Michigan.
Hey, good night, guys.
Good night, Mr. Sir.